morning, everyone, and welcome to Wake Up Legendary. My name is Joanne. I am your host today. And of course, we have another amazing guest like we do every day. Happy Thursday. So hop on in to the live, hop on into the comments. Give me a good morning, a good afternoon, all of that good stuff. I know we're going to have a great conversation. And yes, I am in yet another legendary t-shirt. This one you can get on the shop. Head over to belegendary.shop and you can grab your hashtag legendary t-shirt and all of that good stuff. I see people are filing in. Good morning, Kathy, Bonnie, Leanne, Rachel, Alana. Good morning. Good morning. Excited to have you all here. It's been a weird morning for me. I'm going to be really honest with all of you. I had a dream at about 3:30 a.m. that I was just sitting backstage for Wake Up Legendary, not starting the show. I was just sitting here staring at the screen, not starting it. And it was now, it's 7 a.m. my time. And it was now 7:30 and I wasn't starting the show. And everyone was yelling at me. And I was just staring at the screen like, it's fine. I don't know what that was about, but I've been up ever since, watching the clock. A little freaked out so we don't miss the show today because we do have a great guest. She's been on before. I've had the pleasure of hanging out with her at Mastermind as well. And I'm super excited. So without further ado, please welcome Mitra to the show. Good morning.
Good morning, Joanne. How are you?
Doing well. We were talking backstage how we could be in matching shirts. We could wear our Mastermind t-shirts, all of that stuff, huh?
Yes.
So in case someone is on or listening to the replay and didn't catch the first time you were on Wake Up Legendary, give us a rundown how you found us, what you were looking for, what was going on in that time.
Okay. So I was an esthetician for a decade. Um, and a lot of people they don't know who is an esthetician and what does an esthetician do. I always try to make it easy. And I'm like, if you have been to a spa, those people that they give you facials, those people are estheticians. So I was an esthetician for a decade, and it was in 2022, I believe, that I had a work injury, and I had to. They sent me home. It was one day at work, and my job was really physical. It's been a long time at that point that I was dealing with like everyday pain, and it was taking a toll on my body. I was working a lot of hours, double shifts, taking, extra shifts, holidays, weekends, you name it.
Mhm.
And so one day it just really, got into me, and I just couldn't move my arm anymore. And they sent me home. And then for a year, I was going to physical therapy and, occupational therapy, massage therapy. And then I ended up just to figuring out what's going on. And I ended up having a surgery. And after my surgery, my surgeon told me, you can't go back to that job because if you go back to that job, this is going to repeat again. So that's it.
Wow.
And yeah,
Forced
it was,
retirement from the job, essentially, right?
no, it was during that time because I've said it before and I always say it on my page. I was not a social media person. I was not at all. I hated social media. I didn't know what TikTok was. I didn't have Instagram, not even a personal profile. Um, I only had one Facebook page, which was, I think, like we all have that one page from a bajillion years ago, that the profile picture doesn't even look like me, like it's that old. And my brother always tells me, Mitra, change that picture. It doesn't even look like you anymore. And I'm like, I don't like social media. And I didn't like posting, or I was just not active. I was that old grandma that I'm like, no. And but I was, I was home. I was home from my job, and was waiting to see what's going on. And I came across a guy my dad's age, randomly, because I remember my Facebook algorithm was only cooking videos and dog videos at that point. So I don't, I don't know how did that pop up, but it was this older guy, talking about um, talking about this, like, like
Mhm.
making money from home, making money online. And it just really got me curious, and I didn't do anything, obviously. And I was just, but I saw him again, and
Mhm.
then that's when I realized, okay, he's saying something about affiliate marketing. And I didn't even know the term, like I wasn't even familiar with the term. I had to
Right.
Google it
Right.
to see if this is some sort of scam, or is this actually real?
Mhm.
What is this? And long story short, I clicked on his link. I clicked on his link, and I got the challenge, and I started it. And I watched the like I basically I got it, and I started it the same night,
I love it.
and watched the first video. And the first video, I watched it twice, and I replayed it for my partner the next day, because I remember that night I was up till like midnight. And I'm like, what are you telling me? All these people online, what they do is called affiliate marketing? Like, I bought my blow dryer the other day from that girl on YouTube.
I know. We don't realize it, how much if you
No.
look back, how much you've actually spent with an affiliate
Yeah,
and not the actual
yeah,
brand.
yeah, yeah. It was like beyond interesting and amazing, that, like I said, like I replayed it the next day for my partner, and I'm just sitting and I'm like, babe, you have to watch this video. And then I played it, and then he's looking at it, and I'm like, do you see that? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, do you understand? Do you see what's going on here? Like, this is genius. And it just started to all click in.
Mhm.
Um, Longest story short, again, it was at that point that, even though I started the challenge and I was going through the training and everything, but I honestly wasn't in a good headspace. Like, I was in so much pain every day, all day, and going through my surgery and recovery and pain management and dealing with all that kind of stuff, that I didn't start it. I didn't launch. I couldn't. And then, back and forth, it was, because I think deep down, even though I really loved the idea, but I think deep down, during that whole time that I was waiting to see what's going on with my job, I was hopeful that I will get back to my job, because I really poured my heart and soul into that job. Like, I worked my butt off for my boss, and I killed myself to get that promotion. I was ready to go to corporate, even change states to
Mhm.
get into like corporate, and I was really the most loyal, hardworking employee, that I was on it. Like, you needed something, they would call me, and I would jump.
Yeah.
And toward my end of healing and pain management and all that kind of stuff, I remember my occupational therapist went back and forth with my job, and they
Mhm.
were trying to let them understand that, this employee is a really good, it has a lot of knowledge in the industry.
Mhm.
uh, because I mean, my goal was to open a franchisee, because the
Okay.
corporate that I was working for, you could basically open a franchisee. And And I was still hopeful that they would give me the promotion that they promised me, which
Right.
was a lot less physical. And my goal was to get to that role, to get to take myself off the physical job, and then, also, jump to the next level, climb the corporate ladder, and get that position. And I was hoping that this would be, because it was promised to me. It was,
Right.
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of work to get to that position, to be even considered, because I did proposals, I presented it, to a lot of people and all that kind of stuff. And then at the end, they offered me a job, a desk job, for minimum wage with all that knowledge and experience. And to
Yikes.
say I was furious and I was beyond angry and mad and frustrated is an understatement. Like, I
Mhm.
could not believe my eyes and ears that this is happening to me. Like, they're letting me go. They don't understand what I bring to the table. Like, you
Yeah.
saw what I did for, because I used to travel in our district and I used to train other cosmetologists and estheticians, and I just couldn't believe it, and it got me so angry that
Mhm.
someone else is sitting here controlling my income and future,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, like, I remember my lawyer, I was going back and forth with him, and he sent me a letter and he was like, Mitra, we have to let them know, like, you have to sign this paper. You have to either refuse the position or you have to accept it. But by this time and this date, like literally by this, 4 p.m., we have to let them know what is your decision. And I remember I put a check mark next to no, I do not accept this position. And I added with handwritten in parentheses, I said, I have better things to do with my life. And I sent it to my lawyer.
Sometimes you just got to turn the knife a little bit, right?
And my lawyer was laughing so hard. And he was like, Mitra, you're just, and I'm like, no, do not delete that part. Send that to my boss. I want him to see that.
Yeah.
Because,
And
and it
that's
was
hard
just
because
like,
you really weren't moving on. You were staying stagnant,
yeah,
holding on to a trust you had in someone
yeah,
to take care
yeah,
of you. And it really, the reminder is that someone isn't going to take care of you because it's just a corporate decision.
no,
And that corporation won't, in the end, they're going to do what they want to do.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's scary. And it's a good reminder, no matter what.
yeah.
None of us are, no matter what we're shared or what we're promised or what is said in a meeting, that could change in a month. That can change in 3 months. That can change in a year.
That
Um,
can change in the blink of an eye.
yeah, it can.
Like, it was just it. I always say, like, people hear that saying where they say, uh, you're just a number. Like, we have all heard it, that
Mhm.
saying,
Yeah.
but I felt it. I literally felt it, that I got treated. I was just a number. I got treated like a number, and somebody else was controlling it, and they didn't even care. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people, they say, oh, I have the best relationship with my boss.
Hmm.
And I had the best relationship. I had, in that industry, I had two bosses. One of them was in California, which I'm still in touch with her, and she's a friend. Like, now she's a friend. But the one that I was in, this state, Washington, we think we have a great relationship with our boss, with our managers. They value us and all that kind of stuff. But when
Hmm.
it comes to these kind of things, I'm like, okay, wait, wait for something to happen, and then you will really see if you have a good relationship with your boss, if they really value you the way they have to do.
Hmm.
And they don't have any problem to make this kind of decisions and let you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, and it was just an eye-opening moment for me, Joanne, because I was like, I can never let anybody else to determine and decide what is my value and how much I make. Like I was like, that's it. I cannot let anybody else to decide that for me. This has to change right now. And that was when I launched my business actually.
It was the kick you needed. You
Yeah, it was,
felt
oh yeah.
sure. And I think what's important here, the biggest lesson I hope everyone really understands is don't wait until you're pushed against a wall,
Oh,
right?
mm-hmm.
Start start something, start learning something in the evenings and in your spare time. Start
Yeah,
learning new skills, start applying them. We're not saying go burn all your boats today and turn in go leave all your jobs because they don't care about you right now.
yeah,
But have a plan B in place. Have
yeah,
something else in place that you're working towards, because you know what? One, yeah, they could let you go at any point. That's the
yeah,
reality. And there's nothing we can do about
absolutely.
that. But two, a lot of times it makes it easier going to the job you don't necessarily like if you're
Mm-hmm.
putting some energy where you're feeding your soul into something that you are, that's for you.
Yeah,
There's two really big benefits that come from that. But when we sit
yeah,
here and go, gosh, I hope Jimmy in HR, my manager who makes, $3 more an hour than I do, doesn't completely screw me over.
yeah,
And that's our thought process every day. That's hard. That's hard to live in. That's a hard space to perform in also
yeah,
and stay positive. So if you can take back some control of that,
yeah,
uh, that helps all of the mindset. That's even to show up for your job every day will help
yeah,
that. Yeah. It's that's a huge share. And I think that's a huge um, experience that you shared with us that many can relate to, and many are nervous to talk about, but it's
yeah.
real. And
It was just, yeah, it was a big kick. It was
yeah,
like it hurt so bad.
yeah, 'cause you didn't just go, okay, I'm going to start this over here and everything's,
No,
you went, you know what? I did, but I got into this course. I started learning about it. I was excited about it, but I'm going to hold off because I'm going to let my loyalty come into play.
yeah,
And this is what's this is the path that's going to happen. They're going to take care of me in the end. I know it. They're going to take care of me. And the
yeah,
reality is they're probably not going to take care of you. And that's
yeah,
the sad reality. And it's a
yeah,
hard lesson and a hard reminder for all of us, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
So,
was the best thing that happened to me.
right? You know,
Yeah.
it comes back to I said this yesterday on Wake Up Legendary. I'm going to say it again. There's no regrets. We learn
Mm-hmm.
from each season we're in.
Yeah,
We learn from each
yeah,
season we're in. Some of them
yeah,
hurt a little bit more. Some of them burn a little bit more. Some of us bring out the revenge side of us a little bit more because I'm that person. I like
yeah,
when you add
yeah,
the little memo to that you don't accept that, right?
yeah, yeah,
Um, but you gotta keep figuring it out. You gotta keep
yeah,
figuring it out. And thank goodness you did have the challenge already. So you did have something that you were aware of, and you go, you know what? This now we're gonna go. We're going all
yeah,
in, which is cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we make that decision. You've never been on social media before.
Oh
You
my
have an old
gosh. I was
profile.
like thinking about
You only have, dogs, cooking, and
dating.
luckily, Mr. Bob, I looked him up. I'm like, who was her affiliate? Bob Jose
Uh,
video popped up on your feed and brought you to
yeah, yeah,
Legendary. So
yeah.
how did you go, all right, crap, I got to start posting. I got to figure this out. I got to be on social media. How was that process for you?
Hard, very.
Yeah, I bet.
It was, yeah, and going through the trainings and learning. I'm a watcher when it on Wake Up Legendary, watching them every day. And it's like the when I went through the challenge, even though I didn't start or launch or did basically anything, but the light bulb went off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like after that, yeah, after that point, everything I was seeing on social media, I was like, well, wait a second. So this person is teaching you how to cook. So how is she making money then? Like, let me look at this. And then I would go click on their links. And, I became that person that I'm like, okay, now I want to know what is everybody doing online. Like, I'm that
Mm-hmm.
nosy person
Right?
now.
I
And
do that all the
and I'm
time.
like,
Like, "Ooh, what are they selling?
yeah,
Oh,
what are they selling?
they're not
Okay,
selling much. Crap."
yeah. And or like dog videos, or
Mhm,
I would go on this person. What was this person? Or YouTube. Like I never ever look at like what people write in the captions on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
and then now I was like looking at those, and I'm like, this is Amazon link. Like when I click on it, it takes me to Amazon.
mhm,
So all these people are doing everything that they are doing, their affiliate marketing. So I was like, I was seeing the potential, and I was digesting what is happening, and
mhm.
it was so obvious that this is the future. Like nothing about it was within my comfort zone. I want to say everything about this was out, like way out. It's not like I was here and my comfort zone, like this was here. If I was here and this was like 100 miles over there, it was very uncomfortable because, like I said, I don't like. I'm that person that I always believe social media is for a bunch of teenagers dancing in front of the camera, and they don't have
Mhm,
anything better to do with their life. And I am the loyal employee, and I am doing
mhm.
the best thing with my life, breaking my body at my job.
Right.
So, and I could see the potential. I could see, what kind of routes you can go with this, what kind of things you can do with this, like
Mhm,
what kind of services you can offer online, and how can you go full time online? Like, how can you make a legit income from just being online? And
right.
so I could see the potential. I just had to get out of my comfort zone and learn the systems and learn the tools. And like Dave always says, it's like if you just pull up your camera and hit the record button, and if you can grab your phone and put it in front of your face and hit the record button, that's a skill. And I thought, like, okay, come on, that's not a skill. Till I started doing it, and I was like, oh man, it is a skill. Like, I don't
Right.
know how to talk, I don't like anything about it. And my very first video took me, this is really embarrassing, but I want to say it because I want people to know. It took me a good 6 hours to
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember it was on TikTok, and I started, walking around the house and recording it and listening to it, and I was like, I don't like it. And I did that a few times. And then I sat in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and record the video, and I was like, I don't like it. I pulled up to a park, I sat in the park and I recorded that video, and I was like, I don't like it. I came back home and I recorded it again, and I was like, this is ridiculous. I can't do this. Like, this is really hard. I'm gonna record this video and I'm gonna hit post and the whole world is gonna see it. Like, no. But it's just that getting out of your comfort zone, and it's always
Yeah.
that thing that we believe, like, if we put the video out there, like the whole world is gonna see, it's like, no, it's not gonna get that
I
many
know.
views.
And it's so
Yeah,
hard. And like, I want to encourage her, like, you gotta post, you gotta post. It's so important.
yeah,
Yet it's not gonna be that important in the grand scheme of things. Like, it's not
yeah,
gonna end up on, it's not gonna go viral. Your very first
yeah,
video. How about that? So
yeah,
it's gonna be okay. And it's not
yeah,
deciding the future fate of your business.
yes, yes. And it's not like, and even if it goes viral, then that means that was a good video. Then you don't
Right.
have to worry about anything, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So, but I did it. I made that video, I posted, and like I said, it was just day after day after day, getting more comfortable, getting more relaxed, getting more. I know how to be social in real, in person. I didn't, and I honestly feel like I'm still learning. I can't tell I know, but I'm better at it. I got better at being social on social media because I was very unsocial on social media. Like I remember there was a long time ago I posted a picture on like a personal picture on my Facebook.
Hmm.
And like my friends came and comment that. And then it's a compliment. And I'm like, okay, well I have to say thank you now. So I go and put a comment, reply saying thank you. And then they comment anything else. And I'm like, oh, leave me alone. Like I don't have time for this. Like I don't want to do like back and forth commenting. But it's like every day, every video you post, you get a little bit more comfortable, you learn a little bit more, you just become more comfortable in your skin. And it's just the same thing that everybody says, do the uncomfortable thing till you become comfortable being uncomfortable. Like you just have to do it long enough till
Hmm.
you are like, okay, I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna post it and I'm just gonna disconnect my emotions from it
Yeah.
and just and this is like I don't have to get fully attached emotionally to every single post or every single email that I put out. And at this point, between all my accounts and the ones that have been taken down, I had to start TikTok, I think 3 or 4 times. I had to start Instagram 2 times. I want to say between all of the platforms, maybe I made more than 1,300 videos or maybe 1,400 videos. But there are still days that I'm not comfortable, but and I still, look at myself and I'm like, no, I didn't sound good. No, I didn't. But there are days that I'm like, I'm just here because I know this piece of knowledge and I'm gonna share it with you and I don't care. Like for whoever that wants to receive it, they're not, this is not, my page is not fashion, a life,
Hmm.
like beauty page. So at all the time, I have to look good, and I have videos in my pajamas. I have videos, a lot of videos without my makeup. I have a
Hmm.
lot of videos with makeup and hair done because on that day I felt doing my makeup and my hair. And
Right.
and I do that on purpose because I want people to see that it doesn't matter who you are. You can just be whoever you want to
You.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And people want authentic video these
yeah,
days. You want to follow real, what they feel is a real person, real
yeah,
things. And they
yeah,
don't necessarily want to follow really highly done videos, corporate feel type.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, it's really to your point that you said a minute ago, it's getting comfortable just being uncomfortable all the time. It will never go.
yeah.
I want to really stress that you will always have doubt and worry. It will always come in.
Oh,
Always.
yeah,
Dave has shared it on here that he still has days he comes on, he's like, "Oh, you know, how am I doing? I don't know." Crap, on Monday, I was like, "God, I don't think I did very well when I hosted that show." Like, that's what I said when I got off on Monday's episode. I
uh-huh.
I don't know, it just sometimes you just have that self-doubt creep in. You gotta be like, "Well, I did it. Done is better than perfect, and
Yeah,
what do I need to do for the next one? Let's go.
yeah,
Keep
yeah,
rolling."
yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly.
And
Yes.
and that's the best way. That's the only way. Otherwise, we're all gonna end up, in the fetal position on the ground all day long,
Yeah,
stuck. But if
yeah,
we wanna live, we wanna try, we wanna grow, we wanna have stories when we're old ladies on the porch, we gotta go out and do things. We gotta we
yeah,
got we gotta mess up, we gotta try to go over obstacles, we gotta have good days, bad days, weird days, it
yeah,
all part of being just that life experience.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. And just saying, yeah, I'm gonna have that feeling in my chest of, oh my gosh, am I
Hmm.
really gonna hit post on this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're really gonna hit post on it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
2 hours later in the day, you're gonna hit post again, and then tomorrow
Yeah.
you're gonna hit post again, and pretty soon
Yeah.
that very first post is just buried. It's one of
Yeah.
many, like
Exactly.
you,
Yeah.
one of 1,300, 1,400. That's how
Yeah.
fast that rolls, guys, but we gotta get
Yeah.
through that first step. Gotta get through that first. I love Dave said a couple weeks ago, it's the race to 100.
Yeah.
What would if you can get through 100 pieces of content posted, you
Yeah.
will be a different person, a different
Oh, yeah.
just at that point than
Yeah.
what you were at video
Totally.
1, at post 1. Would you
Yes.
agree with that? What are your thoughts on that? What comes up for you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you would be the amount of self aware and how do I say this? Um, is self-knowing even a word, or did I just make it?
Self-knowing. Sure. Yeah.
Sure, we can put it in the vocabulary, right? You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
It's there.
But like the amount of I want to say knowledge and getting to know myself I had in this journey, I've never had it in my life about anything. Like I've been through a lot in my life and I've done hard things. I've seen and I've had very hard days in my life since I immigrated to the States and adapting, getting a job, starting from the bottom, all that kind of stuff. And just in general, just in general in life, um, I've been through so much. I've done hard things, but when it came to this one, I thought like, oh yeah, I've done hard things, so I can do this, and that was right. But I don't think I've done anything. Like I think I didn't know I can be this consistent and this resilient
Yeah.
and this committed and um like it's like I got to know a different version of Mitra,
Yeah.
like something that I didn't know it's in there, but
Yeah.
like when we were at Mastermind, like I remember um there was a couple of moments that it was I had tears and it was out of like excitement and joy and and I remember Sean was making fun of it, and Sean was like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna make Mitra cry," and anyway. But I was like, and I was talking, and I was saying it, like I don't think I can explain this. That it's like it's like I've never wanted anything in my life more than this
Yeah.
because I can see the potential. I can see where this is going. I can see
See?
that I can see that everything is changing, everything is going digital, everything is going online, and I'm older. I'm 40, and if it's hard for me to start learning something like this and posting on social media compared to a 20 something years old that maybe it's a piece of cake for them to post
Mhm.
pictures of themselves and pose and all that kind of stuff on social media. But I was like, I just really, I just can't explain to you like how much, like how excited I get and how much I want to learn everything about this industry. And it's just like it makes me like I guess my eyes gets watery because
Mhm.
I don't think anybody understands that desire, that how much you want to learn and how much you want to grow and how much you want to know more and just like grow and learn and move forward with this. But back to what we were talking about. I mean, it's just like you get to know a different version of you that you didn't know you can be that person. You didn't know you can be that person. And
Mhm.
during this journey, I know a lot of people, they study the business part of this, and I studied the business part of this too. But I think for me, in order to grow, I had to actually study and go through understanding my psychology behaviors and brain behaviors and that kind of a stuff. And
Yeah.
and that part really helped me to grow instead of like, understanding the stats, or you know what I mean, like the
Yeah.
business.
It's one of the things that's also most overlooked because it makes us uncomfortable.
Mhm.
We gotta look at ourselves or work on our mindset or face why are we thinking this way?
Yeah,
Why do we say these things about ourselves? Um, it can reveal things we don't want to visit.
yeah,
They're so crucial when you're in an entrepreneur position.
yeah,
It's so
yes,
you can't get by with skills alone.
yeah. No,
You need the
no, you
skills and they'll help grow your confidence, but the piece that actually requires you to take action and to show up for yourself and your business every day requires you to look in the mirror and address the mindset all
yeah,
day long.
absolutely, absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of mastermind, how was it for you? Share your experience. I didn't, I think it was good, but maybe not. We're going to get a full rundown right now because Mitra doesn't hold back on her opinions, which I love. So, how was Mastermind for you?
It was,
Was it what you expected?
um, I feel like when I entered the room, I had to hold my breath for a second.
Mm,
Like, I had to hold my breath for a second. And it was, I just don't want to say it was amazing because I feel like everybody say that.
mhm.
But, yeah, it was amazing. No, it wasn't, I mean, it was amazing, but it was being in a room. Um, I've been to a lot of conferences in my previous job, and it's really funny because that was one of my conversation with another person in Mastermind. I was like, I've been to a lot of conferences. Like we had annual conferences in Florida that we had to attend, and it's like all the locations from all over United States, US nationwide coming, and it's like big event. It's like more than 1,500 people, but it really felt different because I was an employee going to an event like that
Mm,
versus this one. It was very different. Like when I was going to an event like that, it first of all, it was I was an employee, and then it's like those people that they were standing over there, and there were a lot of gatherings that I wasn't allowed into, or they would stop the conversation if I enter to that group because they were the bosses and they were the it
right.
was different. This one was really different. It's like you are in a room that everybody wants the same as you want. Everybody understands self-growth. Everybody understands entrepreneurship. Everybody is going through the same struggles as you are doing. If you turn around and you talk to a person and say, it just drives me crazy when I'm recording a video and this happens, and then the next person is finishing your sentence, and you are like, oh my gosh, you understand me. Like, this is amazing. Like, I'm in a room that everybody is feeling the same. It's like everybody has their why. Everybody has done some work, and it was just I had a great experience. I feel like it was it was literally, if you want, we always hear it that if you want to grow, put yourself in the rooms where
Mhm.
people have what you want. And I think for me it was like physically putting myself in a room that I want what they have,
Yeah.
and with a full of people like this. And I think it was just a moment. It was just getting inspiration and getting that fire going on, and ideas and sharing ideas and getting to know people, and just The first day you don't know anybody, and the next thing you know, somebody is pulling you aside and asking you a question like you know me forever, or having a conversation with someone and building friendships. And it was just amazing. It was just it was just amazing to know that. And I met entrepreneurs from, I think the youngest one was 24 and the oldest that I talked to was 69.
Mm-hmm.
And to be in a room full of people like that with that kind of mindset, that life doesn't end if you are 30 or if you are 40 or if you are 50. I'm freaking talking to a, sorry my language, but I'm freaking talking to a 69-year-old lady that she is telling me she wants more and she deserves more and she's meant for more and she's 69. Okay, so if you are
Mm-hmm.
25 or 35, chill and change that mindset. And like, doesn't matter where you are, when you start, where you are in your life. That
Mm-hmm.
was really powerful. That was really, really powerful. Beside all the knowledge and all the wisdom that,
Mm-hmm.
I got from all the speakers and everything, but just like being in that room, building friendships, talking to different people, it was just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. That's our
Yeah,
ultimate goal with these events. We put a lot of love. People don't realize how much energy and love we put into our live events.
yeah,
And what's funny to me always is, and we got it a lot at New Orleans, where it's like Dave comes and like hangs out in the room. Like you can just talk to Dave at the in the middle
yeah,
of the mastermind, or like, yeah, like
yeah,
you sit at a table and have lunch with him. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like he's
yeah.
not like, up on a, only appearing from behind the stage and then hidden and, all of this. It's
Eating dinner in a separate private room
yeah,
or
we're all right
no.
there with you. Like, let's do this thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing. It feels, from a personal side, from a selfish side, it fills my cup up just as much as I think and
Oh,
hope
yeah.
it does for you guys as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, it it's in a I've been to a number of conferences and events as well, and nothing beats mastermind with legendary, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would agree, I would agree, and I'm glad that you got to be there and be a part of it too,
Me
which
too.
is so
Thank you.
nice, and what a great share, what a great moment.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up today, and please, I want you to have the last word. Give your advice to someone starting out with the challenge. What they're in that state of, can I do this? Can I post? Can I learn this? They're in that little bit of overwhelm even, and
Hmm.
worry and fear and all the things. What's your advice for that person?
Mm, I think um, in when people ask me, um, can I do this? Because I got that question in the past 2 weeks. Um, I have been on. I'm sorry. I have been on Zoom calls with a few people that they just wanted to talk to someone, and I was like, "Let's get on a Zoom call. Let's let's meet in person. Ask me your questions." And or sometimes people, come to the DMs, and DM is fine for them.
Mhm.
And that's the question. Can I do this? Do you think I can do this? Like I'm not good. I'm not tech savvy. It's overwhelming and all that kind of stuff. And I always tell them, I want you to know that I wasn't born knowing social media. Nobody is born knowing social media, and a lot of people, this is not easy for them. It's
Mhm.
if you sit and say, "Can I do this?" Like it's not about that. It's how can I do this? How can you do this? How can you, okay, social media is really uncomfortable for me. Okay, how can you make yourself better at social media? How can you make yourself more comfortable to make more videos? How can you how can you do this going? And I feel like a lot of people that I talk to, they come into this, and you know, I've been asked this question. I don't know how many times at this point, but um, so when did you start making money?
Oh,
And and I'm like, and I'm like, I get that question. Don't get me wrong. We are here to make money. We are here to make money.
mhm.
Yes, that is right. We don't
Right.
want to work for free. And and I want everyone to know that that was my question too. It's not like I came into this really wise and really, like, no, I wanted to know when do I stop. But along my journey, I started to switch that mindset and switch it to, you come into this, you're learning something that you didn't know anything about it, you didn't have any knowledge about it, you have never done something like that. So you have to learn a lot. And if you change your brain, your mindset, switching it to how can I help people and how can I bring people along with my journey and help them, it's a huge shift and it's a huge change. and and it's that thing that we always say, once you change that mindset that how can I help people, money will come.
Yeah.
Like, if you focus, like, I was talking to another person the other day and I was like, let me give you an example. If you are on a hike and like, you're looking at the top of the mountain, you want to be there, and but you're constantly looking up, and your focus is on the top of the mountain. I have to get there, I have to get there. And you are feeling all the steps, and you're feeling the sweat, and you're getting out of breath, and you're getting tired, and you're getting frustrated, and you know but the thing is that you are missing all the beautiful things that it's on your way to get to the top
Right.
of the mountain, like the
Right.
lake and the butterflies and the birds and the river and all the beautiful flowers. Like, you are missing a lot of things that is ahead of you on your path, on your journey to get you to where you are. Like, you
Hmm.
are looking at here that you are missing all of this. If you focus on your journey and how can I learn more and how can I do better and how can I help people better and more, trust me, the results will come, and just get out of your own way. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen, it's not like one morning you wake up and you are like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Like, from yesterday to today, this all of a sudden got easy for me. Like, I feel like, um, I read a lot and I do a lot of mindset work on myself, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. I wasn't like this before. I wasn't in the beginning of my journey like this. I didn't think like that. I didn't act like this. But um, but I really believe that if one person put their minds into anything, there is no way there is no way to achieve it. There is, I was that person that I believed in luck and karma and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, everything that I have right now, wherever I am in my life right now, it comes from all the choices that I made in my life. I
Hmm.
just have to be honest with myself. And I didn't sit and pray to start and launch my business.
Right.
I actually got up and put in the work. I didn't got lucky to get comfortable in front of the camera. I practiced it a lot. And my first video took me 6 hours
Right. Right.
driving around the neighborhood. So,
Yeah. And a lot of takes and driving around in the car in
yeah,
different places and all those things.
yeah,
And that's work. That's actually
yeah,
growing.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
going, that is taking action outside of your comfort zone. Just even
yeah,
that process.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do it over and over again. Do it over and over again. And just take quitting off the table. Like,
Yeah.
there is no way. Like, I don't want to be that cold person that, like, don't understand what you are going through. But I don't appreciate when people come and say, well, I reached out to this person and they didn't reply back to me. And I'm like, okay, reach out to the next person. Did you
Right.
reach out to another person? Did you email them again?
Yeah,
Did you ask them this? Did you ask them that? It's like
right. Or
it's,
for
and
heaven's
that's
sake,
why I
reach
say,
out to our support. We'll help you. We'll answer your question.
yeah, but it's like, it's like, even if you email and they didn't get back to you right away, did you email them again?
Mhm.
Did you reach out to another person? Did you reach out to this person? Did you try this? Did you try that? It's like sometimes we feel like we just have to sit and it has to be served to us.
Right.
And this is where I realized that, you know what? I don't think being your own boss and being an entrepreneur is for anyone, because you really have to be that person that you are like, okay, I don't like the way this person helps me, so I'm gonna find this person.
Right. Yeah.
Not like, oh, I didn't like this person help me,
So
so
it's
that's
all
it. I'm
done.
gonna quit.
I
So
have to walk
It's all
away.
done.
Right. It's like, no,
Mhm.
just go figure
No,
out a way to
you
get
just have to be. It's like what Dave says. You have to be resourceful. You have to use all the resources that you have,
Mhm.
and just believe in yourself that if you put your mind into anything, you can do anything you like, anything you want. And if that thing is something that you never had in your life, then that means you have to do something that you have never done in your life.
Mhm.
And you have to be honest with yourself, like, did you really do the uncomfortable thing? Did you really do something that you have never done to achieve that thing that you have never had? um are you really honest with yourself? Like, people tell me I don't have time, and I'm like sometimes I send a podcast to a friend, and then, they're like, oh, I don't have time, and I'm like, do you know how I listen to podcasts? When I'm running errands, driving,
Right.
when I'm cooking, like, I put my Bluetooth on and I just try to use every single minute of my day
Mhm.
to, to try to find that time, because, we all get 24 hours, right?
One of the biggest lies I've heard people tell themselves
Yes, I
is,
don't have the time.
or I've been doing this for 9 months and no results. I've been doing this for a year. No, have you been doing it for a year? Have you really been doing it? You've posted every day for 300 and you have 365 videos on your profile. You have a whole email sequence done. Your
Yes,
funnel's done. Are you showing up to your business every day for the last year? And they're like, "Oh, no, I bought the challenge a year ago." And I did about 5 videos, and then I took a month off, and then I did another 5 videos, and then I just started again last week. I posted again, and it's not working. It's like, okay, so you
yeah,
showed up about 3 weeks total in the last
yeah,
year. It's the biggest
yeah,
lie we tell ourselves is when you start looking at a timetable of I've been doing this X amount, I want you to go back and look. Well, have you really? Did you post every day of that time frame that you are holding yourself accountable to?
yeah,
That you're saying this isn't working. Well, what have
yeah,
you done in that time? Did you show up for yourself and for your business every day? And if
yeah,
you haven't, then that's where we got to start. I want you to
yeah,
start there. That's where we
yeah,
got to start. Yeah.
yeah, it's exact. I remember I got a few DMs, people coming to my DMs, and they're like, well, this was a long time ago. You just started like 6 months ago. How did you get results so fast?
Mhm.
And I'm like, excuse me? Like, and at that point, I get really curious. I go to their profile and I check their profile, and I'm like, I really want to know, what are you doing?
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm checking your account and you post like 5 times a week. Like, at that point, I am posting like 21 pieces of content a week.
Mhm.
So, and you have like 80 videos on your account, and I have like 350 videos on my account. So please post 350 videos and then ask me that question again.
Mhm.
And and I'm like,
Yeah, we just can't
you
look
just
at a time frame of it has to be within X number. That's
exactly.
awful. That's what is hard on our progress when we ask someone the question, when did you start making money?
Yeah,
Because everything between what you did and that date of maybe when you got that first commission is so different for each person.
yeah,
It's so
yeah,
different. And it's not bad, it's not wrong, it just is. And yeah, some people
yeah,
can only post once a day, but you can't then expect the
yeah.
same timeline as someone that's posting 3 or 4 times a day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
different,
just taking that
and that's
time
okay.
frame out of the equation. Like just come into it with a realistic time frame and with a realistic expectation.
Yeah.
Like realistic time frame, realistic expectation. How much did you know coming into this? If
Mhm.
you are like me and you don't even know how to post the content, you have to learn that.
Yeah.
You have to learn that first.
And it's okay to take the time to learn it. So that's why
Yes,
we've gotta take these weird timetables of goals
exactly.
off the table too. We gotta give ourselves some grace and know
Yeah.
you're learning at your speed. All I ask is you show up in some form or fashion every single day. Don't take a week off, don't take 4 weeks off, and then don't apply that to your timetable that you were supposed to hit a certain target. Because that doesn't count. You're setting yourself up for failure and disappointment at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay to everyone be on their own journey, but you got to be honest with yourself and you got to decide, all right, I'm going to show up for me, whether it's 20 minutes or 2 hours, I'm showing up
Hmm.
for me and
Yeah.
you got to be proud of that show up. That's where it
Yes.
starts. You know,
Yes.
yes, it would be amazing if every single one of us could post 3 times a day. I know for some people that's really overwhelming, so they end up
Hmm.
quitting. So I would rather you start 1 a day, and then when you
Yeah.
get comfortable, go to 2 a day, and then when you get comfortable, go to 3 a day, right? We
Yeah.
got it, but we can't compare ourselves to somebody that's posting 3 or 4 times a day. They're
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
different path, guys. They're on a different their business is different than yours, and that's okay. But you can't
Yes.
get into the negative headspace of, well, she started after me. She took the
Yeah.
challenge after me. She launched after me, and she's further ahead than me. But you guys are doing something different, right? We got to allow ourselves grace, and then also don't put the other person down. Be like, dang, girl, you were able to overcome that and post 3 times a day
Yeah.
right off the bat. You really stepped out of your comfort zone, like you shared. That's hard for a lot of people. I'm just tiptoeing out of my comfort zone and be like, okay, let's take a few more bigger steps now. Let's move forward, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and figure out a way to be your best cheerleader, guys. Be your
Yes.
best cheerleader.
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of your biggest bully. I think a
Mhm.
lot of us, our biggest bully is ourselves. Forget Aunt Susie or whoever random friend who's, Mr. Negative on our profile saying everything we do online is a scam or dumb or stupid, or you need to just go back and get a little 9 to 5 job. Forget that person. I guarantee your biggest bully is yourself in your head.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Because,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. Okay, you got me a little fired up here at the end, Mitra.
Good. It's good. It was good because we are our biggest, our own biggest enemy. We get into our head, and I get into my head, like I get into my head every day. I have self-doubts every day. I get on my own way, in my own way every day. I deal with all that kind of stuff every day, but it's like I'm in my like some days I'm having a bad day, but I do it anyway. I'm in my head, but I do it any but I still do it. I am having self-doubt. I do it with self-doubt. Like it just doesn't matter how you feel. You just get to a point that do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We've been going for an hour, girl.
Yes.
Let's let's wrap
Very
this
good.
bad boy up because I know a lot of people only, they gotta get on with their next stage, but you have to come back for round 3. You've got to talk, of
Thank
course,
you.
with Dave as well again. And you're always a pleasure to have on. So we'll need
Thank
another
you.
date, round 3, and go from there. Thank you for just showing up as your amazing self as always. It's always
Thank
wonderful chatting with you. And thanks again.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Joanne.
Yeah, our pleasure. All right, please go give Mitra a follow on Instagram at Mitra the Affiliate. No spaces, no nothing, all together. Mitra, the Affiliate. Go give her a follow, comment on some of her content, let her know that you saw her on Wake Up Legendary. She is always a pleasure. And go search for her interview back in February. It was actually pretty. I believe I wrote an email based off of something she shared in that interview. So it was pretty good as well. Um, uh, Both today and that first one, loaded with gold, totally worth replays and rewatches. So go find this one, rewatch it, and as well as her first. You will not be disappointed, I promise. As always, I will be back tomorrow, my last day of the week with all of you. And then Dave will be back on Monday. And as always, stay legendary. Peace.